What's up, everybody? Welcome in to another episode of Profit Picks. If you are new, we do always start this show by being transparent. Yesterday, I had a lot of plays and I ended up 7-8, which is not winning. So, it's another hiccup. I think I went 7-7 the day before, 7-8. So, these past two high volume cards have not been great, not been good at all. Need to do better. And we'll see if we can do it here today. Vino, hopefully, yesterday was a little bit better for you.
NBA was good. 2-1. The only game I lost in the NBA ski was the Laker game that I left here. Lakers over against the Cavs, and my goodness, I didn't expect 99 out of the Lakers, honest to goodness. But that game got away second half. Wow, did it get away from them as Cleveland pulled away. So that one did lose, but we had winners on. Got our money back with Utah over. Got that money back, and the Miami Heat Orlando game flying over. So those two were good. College was a little different. Skee did make money on the Houston Cougars, did make money on Florida team total over, but overall that was a 2-5 day. So the day in the end worked out to be like 4-6, was not profitable. And so again, small loss, but we have to come back today.
Yeah, college was where I really lost that too. So we'll see if we can what we can do with this NBA slate. Yeah, Casey, I'm with you. I'm with Casey in the chat right there. She's saying it for us. All right.
Sometimes NBA too, Casey. we we just have them figured out a little bit better.
All right. Kings and Sixers opened up 12. Looks like 11 and a half or 12, depending where you shop. Total open 227 and a half. It's up as high as 230. Embiid, Paul George, both probable. Grimes, questionable. Marjan is out. For Sacramento, Malik Monk is questionable. Keegan Murray out. Russell Westbrook has now been ruled out. For this Sixers team, I believe it is their third game in 4 nights. I'm going to just verify here. Yes, third game in 4 nights, fourth and sixth. So Kings could maybe be the team with a little bit more energy, but can we trust them? What I've noticed, or just overlooking stats for the season, the Kings have not been good as a road dog. And I'm not sure if they've even covered a point spread as a double-digit road dog this season. I have them listed in total as a road dog as 8-15. First half though, 15-8. So they're able to hang for 24 minutes. Is it just the tank? Is it just is the cream, whatever they say, cream rise? What is it, Vino? Why can they compete for 24 minutes and not 48? And how do you see this
Yeah.
game going?
Well, I'll say this in my typical total style of bounce back handicapping, and especially where the Kings are concerned, because you always look at them as a weak defensive team, more offense than defense. They played terrible in their last game, 103-87 loss, but they shot miserably, 5 for 30 from three. I mean, again, that was like the WagerTalk Open 5 years ago, 5 for 30 from three. You can shoot better than that, and I'm sure that they will. Um, they get a defense here in Philly, Ski, that hasn't been good. Going over some numbers, and I'll read them to you now off of my notes. From 3-point range in like the last 8 games, the Sixers have given up 20, 17, 13, 16, 18, 15, 17, 15. All these teams, 6 of those 8 teams shot over 40% from three against the Sixers. So they're not defending the 3-point line at all, which leads me to believe that, the Kings can get some stuff done here tonight. I isolated the game because the Kings team total was so low. The game total kept going up, but the Kings team total is only 108 and a half. They're off of a bad shooting game. Philly hasn't been playing great perimeter defense. I got to believe that the other thing I worried about was when Westbrook got ruled out, but Schroeder is still going to keep the pace up. And Philly with Maxey and company run when they're on the floor too, if the other side will go. So I think over 108 and a half here was the right play on the Kings team total. Take the dog. You can never trust them enough to grab the points. I guess you could hold your nose and say, I'll take some of these ugly dogs. All do win. But 108 and a half just seemed to be the right way for me to go. It looks like the total here is too low, team total for Kings.
Well, it does seem like the Sixers are giving that up routinely. For the Kings here, off an 87-point game, I like to think that they would bounce back, and they've cleared 108 every other game besides their last one. So that could be a way to look at it. I do have a query that tells me to back the Kings, but when I see query looking at the Kings, sometimes I have to restart my computer to make sure it's working correctly, Rob. I don't know if I can get there with the Kings, but maybe we can just trust him to score a little bit. I think that's a good angle. Bucks and Wizards opened up -3. Looks like it's down to 2. Total came down from 225.5 to 222.5. Cole Anthony got downgraded to questionable. Giannis is out. Gary Harris is out. KPJ is out. Tyrene Prince is out. For the Wizards, you got Sar, questionable. Bagley out. Vucevic and Trey Young look like they're both out. And I'm just making sure that these alerts I'm getting on my phone are not for this game. They are not. You always got to, keep up with this injury report. So, Veno, this Bucks team, I mean, they just need to go ahead and what are you waiting for? Just go ahead and blow it up or trade Giannis. Do what you got to do already. You're just sitting there holding them hostage, not winning. You're not I don't know what you're doing if you're Milwaukee. For the Wizards, another team that I don't think they're necessarily trying to win games. They've been playing okay basketball lately, though. It's tough from a side perspective, honestly. Props, probably what I would like a little bit more in this game, whether it's Rollins, he's going to have a lot of playmaking responsibilities if Cole Anthony does not play. And if Cole Anthony does play, then I might look towards Miles Turner. I think it's a good matchup for him. To score, to rebound. I don't know. A lot of different ways to look at this game, How are you looking at it?
Well, I didn't look at it long. I put a pretty good X right through this one for a couple of reasons that you said. In Milwaukee, I can't get to them at all anymore in this stage. And Washington, I know I said it again yesterday that what you told me 2 weeks ago, you didn't think since the trade they'd be interested in winning games, and you just repeated it now. I don't know that they're interested in winning games. And when you're only getting 2, Skee, in fact, I think we noted the other day that they're hanging in, but then they kind of let go of the rope. It's like, look at us, we're playing hard, and then all of a sudden, oh, too bad we lost. Like you're only getting 2 points here. It's not enough, even if they let go of the rope at the end. Are you going to be able to stay within 2? And I don't trust them enough to win the game straight up. So for me, I didn't play this game either way. Have no real idea who I want to be on in this one, side or total. And for Milwaukee, it almost seems like they're just afraid to give up the fans in the seats. Like the only reason the fans come to a Milwaukee game is when Giannis is playing anymore. He's injured right now. But once you
Right.
trade him, who's coming to that building once you trade him? Probably nobody coming to see that
Nope.
team. So it seems like that's all they're hanging on for right now.
Okay, trying to. Well, you got 2 more weeks before. I mean, Giannis' contract is up after this year too, right? So,
He could walk.
oh, I know. I'm not certain about that actually, but I don't know. We'll see what they end up doing. This game, I could only look at those 2 props, and it's dependent on if we're gonna have an extra point guard in the lineup or not. Rockets and Hawks opened up -5 for Houston. Look like 3.5, 4, depending where you're looking right now for Houston. Total open 225. It's a lot of the same totals today. A lot of the same openers, same totals. Open 225 down to 222.5. That's why I had to make sure I'm looking at the right game there. For Houston, Şengün has now been put on the injury report as questionable. Eason is out. DFS is out. Van Fleet is out. For Atlanta, Jalen Johnson questionable. Okongwu out. Porzingis out. Reese Shea out. A lot of question marks here. And these did just pop up. I'm gonna pass it to you first on this one. Houston and Atlanta, Rob.
Yeah, this one was tough because they're both off back-to-backs. Atlanta did beat Boston last night. Wish I had a little more fortitude to go ahead and play it. We talked about it a little bit on the show, how Boston has been inconsistent. They're in one of those stretches right now where they're not playing well. Atlanta wins. And then Houston plays San Antonio late last night, Skee. And that start time, that game didn't end till fairly late. And I just wonder the Houston travel plans to get to Atlanta. I know Atlanta's not that far of a flight, but they probably didn't get in till extremely early morning hours. And I don't know that they'll take the court, as alert and as focused as they should be. So my first reaction was maybe play the Hawks first half and then maybe Houston adjusts in the second half. That game was very pretty intense last night, Houston, San Antonio. The Spurs pulled away late, but I think the point I'm trying to make is the minutes that Houston played were pretty taxing. In the end, like the last 2.5, 3 minutes, maybe longer, Şengün and Wembanyama seem to be, going at it a little bit. Obviously, San Antonio opened up the lead, and I don't think the Rockets were too happy with the result. I think that's the only way I could look. That there's too much within this back-to-back on both sides for me to make a real clear full game decision. But I do think that maybe Houston enters this one a little bit tired and Atlanta takes advantage first half.
We could see that. I do think Amen Thompson is going to have a good game. I would like for Şengün to be in. And I would think that the Rockets could really take advantage of Atlanta here because they're not going to have a whole lot of rim protection out there tonight. It could really become a small ball kind of game, high scoring. Well, it's no rim protection. Amen should be able to score. And I don't know. That seems like the best bet to me in this game, just betting on him. Anything else before we move on?
No, we could move on. That game is what it is. I'm not going to argue anybody off of props here because that's not my angle.
J-Main likes Durant over 29.5 points and assists. He says he don't know now all these injuries. Says it did get bumped up to 30.5 though. All right. Hornets and Mavs. This one opened up -4 for the Hornets. Looks like 3.5. Total open 230 down to 226.5. That's what we'll call it, 226. As far as the injury report, you do have Plumlee and KJ out. Gafford questionable, Clay probable, no Najee Marshall, Anthony Davis, or Kyrie Irving here tonight. Looking at this one, you do have second game of a back-to-back for the Hornets, 3rd and 4th, 4th and 6th. Also second of a back-to-back for the Mavericks. And it's kind of making it hard for me to play this one. I know the Hornets have been really good on back-to-back so far this season. You could always get people added to the injury report as the day goes on, but the Hornets too. You don't usually think of them as laying points, but I'm pretty sure they've been good laying the points on a back-to-back too. So Hornets are pass. Any thoughts from you?
Yeah, I'd probably be the other way. I'd probably be Mavs or pass. I think we get Cooper flagged tonight, right? He's off the injured list. Didn't play last night, so they probably held him for rest last night. Play him here. They're the team you mentioned, 3 and 4, 4 and 6 for the Charlotte side. It's back-to-back for Dallas, but it's not a 3 and 4, and they don't have to travel. They just stay at home. So it's a little bit easier schedule-wise on the Mavs here with Flag back in lineup. Saying that is going against every reason that I made for Charlotte last night against Memphis. Charlotte's been playing great, Skee. We went over their numbers. Their defense has been really good. Maybe you could look under in this game. I'm not sure. But I do think Dallas probably the more rested side. And with Flag not having to play any minutes last night, probably helps them a little bit quality depth-wise in this one. So I would lean Dallas. Didn't play it, but that's the way I would lean in that game, plus points with the home team.
All right, so we kind of disagree a little bit on that one. We'll see how that shakes out. Next, we do have actually, let's see this one more prop coming in here. Asar Thompson over 7.5 rebounds and assists, covered in 9 of the last 10. Phoenix ranks bottom 6 in both rebounds and assists to small forwards. I feel like, I looked at this last game too, and I didn't play it. But but I'll write that down on my short list. 7.5 RA. Maybe it's a twin day. Maybe go Amin and Asar. All right. Next game, Pistons and Suns opened up -4.5. Still looks like that or 4, depending where you shop. Total went up slightly from 213. We'll call it 214.5 right now. Karis LeVert is questionable. Gillespie is questionable. So is Jalen Green. Still no Devin Booker for this Phoenix team. Phoenix is just, the offense is just bad without Devin Booker out there. It just, I can't get behind it. I know their team total tonight is 105, and I know they've hit that a couple of times, without Booker, but they haven't passed 108. I know that. I don't trust that offense. This defense has been so great lately. It's hard to look any way other than them or under. It still feels like they're begging me to take the Pistons, and I don't like that. They got me yesterday, Rob, and I'm just a quick little vent. I think I told you, and we talked about like the line didn't make sense for the situation for the Raptors, right? The situation screams Raptors, but the line didn't make no sense for that situation. Sure enough, they can do the okie doke and, say Jalen Brunson is downgraded, Josh Hart's downgraded. I go bet the Raptors, and then the Knicks still win, and just like I thought in the beginning. This game, I'm getting that same feeling. Like, why is it just 4 when Phoenix has been horrid without Devin Booker? Something stinks about this line to me. What do you think?
The one drawback to the Pistons is their road favorite record has been lousy. We talked about it the other day. It was 6-10. I think that rose to 6-11 now as a road favorite. So that's the one thing that I had written down in kind of like this, assets and liabilities sheet that I make when I'm trying to bet these games. What's good about the team? What's bad about them? That was my bad for Detroit. But otherwise, I'm in agreement with a lot of what you said to start with. At least my handicapping theory was that Detroit's a really solid defense. Phoenix without Booker has been a bad offense. Again, you mentioned it the other day, and it came true the other day. And Detroit goes to Denver and wins the other night and gets a day off before they have to play Phoenix. If this was a back-to-back Denver to Phoenix, I might have felt a little bit differently, but I do think the Pistons are the right side here. I'm probably not as scared or as suspicious of the number as you are, but maybe I should be. And again, 6-11, that's almost, it's just a shade above 33% as a road favorite. So you're not betting into anything that's solid if you bet Detroit here. I think I'm just more betting the fundamental matchup where I just think the Pistons are that much better. I always note how hard they try for 48 minutes. And I think the day of rest was kind of the selling factor for me, the fact that Detroit didn't have to do this on the back-to-back. They'll play Golden State tomorrow night, which will be the second of back-to-back, and maybe come back against them there.
I'm starting to feel it, Rob. I've seen this before. Seen this before, Rob. I'm writing it on my short list because I'm going to try to find more reasons besides just being a smart guy.
I love when you warn me too. For anybody who doesn't know what we continually refer to here, we just lay it out there. I was in Las Vegas a few years back. There was an MMA fight, one of those really, really big fights. And it was a WagerTalk gathering, and a lot of our colleagues were just betting one side of this, premier match that night. And Skee looked at me and said, "I don't know, Rob Veno, I've seen this before." The other way. And sure enough, the guy everybody else had bet on got his brains beat in less than 2 rounds, and the other way cashed. So I like when Skee gives me the warning, like he grabs my hand and says, "We got to run the other way, dude. We got to get out of here."
It was, I don't even know the guy's name. He had colorful braids. Whatever the guy's name is with the colorful braids.
Yeah, he did a number. He beat their guy that night. I know that. The popular guy got trashed.
Yeah, he did. Early, quick. Everybody was betting the other side like it was just free money. Hand over fist.
I'm in that cabana with a ticket on the good side. I'm like, yeah, this is nuts. So
All right.
that's what we keep referring to, so everybody knows.
Yeah. So that Pistons side, man, that's all I'm saying. Seen it before. O'Malley.
Mhm.
There you go, J Main.
Oh,
O'Malley. That
that's
was the guy.
exactly who it was.
Yeah, he beat that dude down in that fight. All right. Next game, we have Nets and Nuggets. Opened up -5.5. Looks like 6.5 or 7. Total has dropped a lot from 216 all the way down to, I mean, as low as 208.5 out there at a shop. Let's get to an injury report here. Injury report. Oh, wow. Lots going on here. Jokic, Cam Johnson, Aaron Gordon, Christian Braun, TJ Bates, all out. Valanciunas and Murray probable. Williams, Cam Thomas, Highsmith, Igor, Clowney, all out for the Nets. Man is questionable. I mean, I guess it makes sense why this total is dropping when nobody's playing here, Rob. But I'm curious if you agree with it. I know you know you don't like to bet a whole lot of unders. Curious if this is one of those rare ones where you agree with the market.
I don't, but you know what? And I always say I don't bet props, but the one thing that crossed my mind is, would MPJ be a good play back in Denver? Like, he probably comes back here and he's been scoring anyway. He hardly ever passes. All he does is shoot. So I don't know what his props are, what they look like, points, rebounds, whatever, because I don't study that. But it just seems to me that Michael Porter Jr. would be a guy in this game that perhaps could have a big game prop wise coming back home. Um, I should have probably looked up if he's been here before and played at Denver and seen what he did. But that's probably the only way I would look here. I might get involved a little bit with MPJ. I'll have to check numbers.
All right, I just had a thought. I'm sorry, you guys. I just had to double check something. Okay, it's not on there. So we had a talk yesterday about a guy I know who is the public. He's not on the Pistons today. So we'll see.
Okay.
We'll see. They might be safe. We'll see. That last game, my bad. I'm betting MPJ. That's what I'm betting.
Yeah.
MPJ points, rebounds. It's a good matchup for him. He did it last time he played them. We know it's his old team. He's gonna go out there and show them, what they're missing. I like that. All right, next game, Thunder and T Wolves opened up 5.5. Looks like 6. Oh, I'm seeing it as high as 7.5. Total also has gone up from 225.5 as high as 228.5 out there. Lighting up as we speak. So let me actually just refresh, make sure we got these up-to-date injury reports, because the NBA is crazy. As we say on the other show, the NBA is a hell of a drug. OKC, my bad. Yeah, OKC open 5.5. It's like 7.5, 225.5 up to 228.5. Injury report, we have Casey Wallace, questionable. Caruso, Mitchell, Topic, J-Dub out. We have Gobert, questionable. Conley out. Shannon out. OKC is on a back-to-back, right? That game I saw with the scuffle at the end was last night, if I'm not mistaken. Just double
No,
check.
Minnesota should be on the back-to-back.
Is it Minnesota?
They
Okay.
played
Yeah,
Dallas.
you're right. Minnesota on the back-to-back. But yeah, I'm thinking about that last game with Lou Dort. That was not yesterday. Hey, has Minnesota turned it around a little bit here? Probably. I mean, a couple good games in a row. The Thunder still not playing as consistent or up to the level as they were in the beginning of the season. Still missing a couple key guys here. Can Minnesota keep this one close? How are you viewing this game?
I kind of like the other side. I like the fact that Hartenstein is back so they can have the Twin Towers. And if Gobert doesn't play, I saw him listed as questionable. Maybe you just said that. But if Gobert doesn't play, kind of like Chet and Hartenstein, who's been out for a couple of games here, to probably clean up all boards, be really good rim protection. Minnesota on back-to-backs, like you always say, there could be a scratch down the road. We don't know. They did win that game last night against Dallas. So I think yesterday our thought process was they probably cared more about this game than the Dallas game. And maybe I read it wrong. Maybe they just wanted to get the win in against Dallas before they played Oklahoma City, thinking that, that's a tougher team. I'm not sure about any of that, all speculation that we go through as handicappers and betters. But I think the OKC side is probably good here. I would have liked it. I should have been there quicker because now it gets into a range where you got to kind of think twice. But I still think if Gobert doesn't go, Skee, that's an awful lot of interior advantage for Oklahoma City. Not necessarily. I mean, it could be scoring wise, but especially rim protection and for the Oklahoma City side and the ability for SGA and everybody to penetrate into the rim against the Minnesota side. So I'm going to look at OKC here and see if I can get to the window with them.
All right. I'm looking here. There's one game that's not on my odds screen, but I swear there's another game today. The Heat play today, don't they?
They do. It's in like the write-in box.
Okay. So my bad, you guys. Bear with me for 1 second. 237.5 is what we got there. Okay. Yeah, I see it here on the other app that I can use. So let me just get this on the screen. Heat at Bulls, and injuries look like Davion Mitchell questionable, Hero doubtful. You have Trey Jones out, Zach Collins out, Giddey questionable, Jalen Smith probable. Both of these teams did play last night, right?
They did.
It's throwing me off with it not being on the odds screen. I'm not able to really look at it. Let me just double check. The opener was 238.5. And it's down to 237.5. I feel like, honestly, I looked at this game last night. Now I'm thinking about it. The total was like 243.5.
You're right. I show it opened at 242.5, and now it's kind of almost universal at 236.5, gone down 6 points.
Yeah. I don't know. I disagree. We know the way the Heat want to play. If you're missing Davion Mitchell, that's defense right there. I guess Giddey questionable would hurt. The Bulls still want to play fast. I feel like they've been sharing the ball enough. Solid offense. It's the defense you worry about for the Bulls. I don't know. I disagree with the market, but maybe they know some things we don't know. Maybe they know Giddey's for sure out. What are you thinking here, Veno?
It's why we always have to wait on these NBA games and this injury report, because you get there too soon and you wind up, like you say, with your Raptors play yesterday. I was the same way. I mean, when you look at these two teams, the first thing that comes into your head is bet over. Then you watch it go straight down. I will say this. The Miami-Orlando game last night seemed to me like Miami had full focus on that game. I think I mentioned here yesterday it was for first place in the Southeast Division. Miami had held a 1-game lead, and Orlando went in there and won. Miami played really hard. I just wonder if maybe that same focus and fight doesn't come back here tonight. That being said, I know we've noted in the past that Miami's style has never really taken anything out of their legs in the second of back-to-backs. They've still been able to come back and score and run. Giddey on the other side, I think, has some importance to it. So I'll have to look into it a little bit further. As I speak, Skee, I see a couple more places go to 236.5, but one jump back up to 237.5. So who knows what's going on with the player manipulation here? It might be one we just have to wait on.
Right. That's the NBA card for today. I think we did an okay job here, Rob Veno. So before we get out of here, let's put this up on the screen like we usually do. If you are interested, you can get a 7-day all-access pass for $69. That comes out to under $10 per day. It's 7 days for the price of 3. And, gives you a chance to get everything that either Rob Veno or myself release here. Veno, I'm going to pass it right back to you for best bets. If I can find, there we go, best bets. You have a best bet, we love to hear it. If there's anything else you'd like to promote, feel free.
Yeah, the promotions have been handled by our production department, so we're good with that. I'm gonna I'll give you guys the one that's up on the site already. And that's Sacramento team total over 108.5. We started the card with that. I talked about that. Like I say, it's a client play already. So that's what I'll leave you here for a best bet on the show. I got 108.5. It still sits at 108.5 as we speak. So I think that's a fair number to give out. Sacramento team total up and over 108.5.
Good stuff on that, Veno. For myself, I'm gonna go with and J Main, I do see you there, but I just it's best bet time. It's kind of done capping here. If you would have told me a little bit earlier, I could have pulled it up. Best bet, but I will look into it after the show. Best bet, I'll go with MPJ, 31.5 points and rebounds. Good matchup. Should be motivated versus old team. Everything seems like it lines up here. There's no Cam Thomas. They're gonna need him. I mean, it's a lot of people missing out there for the Nets. If he doesn't do his 31.5 PR, I think they get blown off the earth. So MPJ is my best bet for the show. Veno, I always want to let you know I appreciate you taking the time to cap these games with us. It helps my process. I'm sure it helps everybody else. Chat, we appreciate you. Great people giving great information and just great vibes. So always want to let you know you're appreciated. One more day. We'll be back tomorrow. That will be the last show of the week. So until then, best of luck, everybody, on all your action. And we'll catch you tomorrow.